Okay, I'm about to do something a little crazy. I'm going to open a vintage booth in a town that's almost 3 hours away. Yeah, I know. If anyone else, like a new booth owner, were to come to me and say that this was their plan, I would be like, whoa, Nelly, let's take a moment, let's take a breath, and think about this. It's definitely not a decision that should be taken lightly or should be made lightly. But I, Michelle, the owner of Frolicking Elephants Art and Home Decor, have been a vintage booth owner for almost 4 years now, come April. And I feel like I have a pretty good handle on what my core demographic is, how to stage and to maintain a vintage booth so that I can be successful. And where I currently am, it's not necessarily where my core demographic is. That's not to say that I haven't been successful here and that I haven't done well. I have. But I just know that there are more opportunities available to me if I were to move or to locate my booth outside this immediate area. Now, I'm not going into it with like no support whatsoever. I actually do have a vendor friend who I met at my current location, my current mall's location, and they have a booth there as well. So we are going to be like mall buddies. And whenever we are in town to merchandise and spruce up our own booth, we will help each other out and to make sure that each other's booths look good. So that's something that I definitely appreciate that I have available to me. So if you want to know a little bit more about the thought process about why you should open a booth or what kind of things you should look for when you're opening up a booth, or why you might want to consider opening up a booth outside of the area that you currently reside, we can definitely discuss that at a later video if you're interested. So comment below if that's something you would like to delve into. But I still have a lot of work ahead of me because I have to go through all of my inventory from my booth that I just shut down in my current location. I still have a showcase there, and you'll see it sporadically as we go like through this process, because I am still planning to keep my showcase, which is like a very large bookcase type area, and that is styled right now very dark academia, a little bit more traditional. So I do enjoy that look and that style, and that does well for me here in this area. So I am keeping that. But my larger booth space, I decided to shut down. I have a ton of inventory, like multiple bins worth of things to go through. I need to decide what's going to go to my new mall, what is going to go to my online shop, because I do have an Etsy shop that I run as well, and what will I be bringing to my first large in-person show of the new year, which is happening in March. So yeah, it is so much stuff, y'all. It's like, it's a lot. Can't wait to get my house back. You all have no idea. All right. So I have this last little bit behind me that I need to price, or at least put my new tag on it, on these items, and then those will be good to go for the new space. I have two more bins of old show inventory that I need to go through just to see if I can pull anything for my new booth. And then I pretty much am good to go what I have here in the apartment. It's always a little bit like in my head, I always psych myself out thinking that what I have right now is not going to be enough, and that my shelves are going to look really bare. And I know I'm going to have enough things. Like I know I have enough inventory for my new shelves and my new booth, And I know I have way more wall art than I actually have walls. But yeah, like I'm always afraid that I'm not going to have enough things, right? And I like over prepare, I over source, which, it's fine. And sometimes I have to take just like a breath and tell myself like, no, it's enough. Like, it's okay. I think one of the other pressures that I have about inventory right now is that not only do I have this new booth, which is leaning more bohemian, which is different than, or by different, I mean, it's different than what I've been doing this past year, because this past year in my current location, bohemian did not move really at all. It was like very few pieces on my boho side of my booth that would, sell. What was selling like hotcakes was the more dark academia traditional style. So that's what I had been going like super hardcore into this past year. And so like, I think part of me thinks that I don't have enough items that lean the bohemian way, which really that's kind of nonsense to me. I'm talking to myself, like, Michelle, like seriously, it's nonsense. Because a lot of the times there are certain pieces that are just beautiful classic pieces, or just, beautiful ceramic pieces, whatever, glassware, etc., that can lean and go into almost any decor style, and it all depends on how you style it. And so obviously in this new booth, like, it is going to be more bohemian than I have done in the past, but a lot of that's going to do with the color choices that I'm making, the kind of rug I'm going to put in there, how I style it with other items. Like, it's fine. Like, Michelle, talking to myself, it's fine. It's just knowing what the final look is going to be and just styling things according to that, right? Accordingly. And I'll be fine. Enough talking. I need to like get back to pricing. Okay. See you on the flip side. So I think I have a pretty good start to what this new booth space is going to look like. And I'm very excited. So hopefully it'll be a success, right? That's the goal, right? That's the whole purpose of wanting to do something like this that takes so much time and energy and, driving time, to make it worth my while. So yeah. The next thing I want to do, though, is I want to source just a few more things so that I feel a little bit more comfortable with what I'm bringing, specifically books. Like, I'm really looking for some beautiful vintage and antique books because, one, they're a great small, like, bread and butter item that I sell consistently at my shows and in my booth space, and they're just really pretty to stage with. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. And I'm also going to be picking up things for my next in-person show, which is going to happen in March, which is less than 2 months away right now. And that's going to be vintagemarketdays Jacksonville at the Clay County Fairgrounds, March 7th through 9th. I'll put a little info sheet up here. So yeah, I have a lot to source, a lot to do in the next 2 months, and I hope you come along with me. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, bye.